Our next question is, water drop fall at regular interval from tap which is 5 meter above the ground. The third drop is leaving the tap at the instant when the first drop touches the ground. Here is the tap. Third drop leaving the tap at the instant when first touch the ground. This is first, second, third drop. 5 meter above the ground. This is 5 meter. Okay. How far above the second drop is at that instant? इसकी हाइट हमको निकालनी है. How much is this height? Okay, we have to find this height. Now to find this height, yes, we have to make the equations which have got different quantities. One quantity is height. This is falling down. This is falling down under acceleration which is equal to g. 10. Okay, this quantity is known to us. What are the other quantities? This quantity is known to us, 5. What is not known to us? Time. Now, the drops which are falling from the tap, one very important quantity which should come to our mind. What is that quantity? This distance and this distance, should it be equal? The answer is no, because its velocity is increasing every instant. If the velocity is increasing, then initial velocity is less, then velocity has become more. What is the common quantity? What is the equal quantity between these two drops and these two drops? Think again and it will come to your mind that this quantity is time. हर drop equal time interval पर टैप से निकलती है. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. After each equal time. So we can assume that if from this to this the time is t, then from this to this the time is t, and from this to this the time is 2t. Okay. If this time is 2t, acceleration is 10, height is 5, then we can calculate t. 2t, and let's calculate it. Time is, what else is given? S is given to us. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So let's apply that. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Here S is equal to 5. U for the drop is 0 plus half. Acceleration is 10. And t, this 1t and this 2t, this is 2t. So this is 2t square. हम इसको 1t मानते तो ये half t होता. ओके, हमने इस पूरे को 2t मान लिया. So this is 2t square and this will be 2 5s are 10, 4t square and 20. T square is equal to 5. So t square is equal to 1 upon 4. So t is equal to half. Plus minus half, we will reject the minus part and we will get time is equal to half second. That means this drop reaches this position in half second and this drop reaches this position in half second. Now what is asked from us? What is this height? This is the height which can be travelled in half second. So we can find out this height again. S is equal to ut plus half at square, and if this height is equal to h, then h is equal to ut. But here we don't know the u, so we can't use that formula. Okay, if we can't use that formula, again we will have to do something. How much is this height? Let us find this. Because here we know u is equal to 0. So we will get this height, let's call it y. Why we are not calculating h? Because we don't know u. Why we are calculating y? Because we know u here is 0. So again we apply this s, that is y. Y is equal to 0 plus half at square. A is equal to 10 and t square. T we have got half second. This will be square of this. So this is 1/4. So this is equal to 5 upon 4. 5 upon 4 and the unit is meter. Now if y is equal to 5 upon 4 meter, we can calculate h. H is equal to 5 minus 5 upon 4, that is 15 upon 4. This is equal to 3.75 meter. So our answer is 3.75 meter, that is option C. Okay, so this is done. Again, you can repeat or you can revise this. You will find out what are the points we have considered. The important point to consider is whenever there are drops falling, what is the quantity which we have to consider? That is time, because the time interval between the two drops always remain constant. The distance will change, naturally change, because with acceleration the velocity keeps on changing. If the velocity increases, the distance will increase. So there may be a numerical of 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops, 20 drops. What will be the same time period? Remember. Okay, now see the next question. A stone is thrown vertically upward. When stone is at a height half of its maximum height, its speed is 10 meters per second. Then the maximum height attained by the stone. We have thrown the stone from here. It goes here. This is the maximum height. What happens at maximum height? The answer is, at maximum height we know velocity will become 0. This should come to our mind automatically due to our knowledge of physics. So velocity, final velocity has to be 0 because the height is maximum. Okay, this is our conclusion. What is given? Okay, when stone is at a height half of its maximum height. So if this height is h, then this height is half h. What happens here? At half h, speed is 10 meters per second. 10 meter per second at half h. Then the maximum height attained by the stone. We have to find the value of h. These are the given quantities. And okay, initial velocity here not given. Final velocity is 0. And here this velocity is 10 meters per second. Now there may be different methods for this. Some difficult, some easy. I will tell you a trick for an easy one. You see, what we think here, the ball goes from here. And it takes some time to reach here. Some height is here, some time is here. Okay. Remember, reversibility rules. Reversibility rule says that the time taken from this point to this point will be same if this is dropped from this and comes down to this position. Here u will be equal to 0 and here v is equal to what was u here? Okay, these two. With this same velocity, let us say this velocity is v start. This is also v start, vs. Vs, u started from here, vs reaches here. Vs started from here, v is equal to 0 here. Same thing. Now, we start from here, we get u is equal to 0 and how much is this height? H by 2. H by 2. The velocity become 10. What is the equation we get here? Another thing we know. What is that? In any vertical motion, A is equal to G is equal to 10 downward. This is known to us. So, we have used our knowledge for finding two quantities. One, at maximum height, the velocity has to be 0. Other, it is a vertical motion, so acceleration has to be taken as 10. So, these quantities are given. Now, let's make equations. What is unknown quantity? Unknown quantity H. H is our unknown quantity. Can we get the value of H from here itself? Yes. The distance S is equal to UT plus half AT square. S is H upon 2 is equal to 0 plus half into 10 into T square. Oh, we don't know T. We have taken the wrong formula. Why? We should have taken a formula where initial velocity and final velocity is given and the distance and acceleration is given. What is that formula? That is third. That is V square is equal to, or V square minus U square is equal to twice AS. Here V is equal to 10. So 10 square minus 0 is equal to 2 into 10 into S. S is H by 2. From this point to this point, H by 2. So this 2 is cancelled and this is 10 square. This 10 comes here. This is equal to H. So H has the value equal to 10. Do we have any value here? Yes. Maximum height is 10. Now this we have solved in one equation, using only one equation. Otherwise, you will have to solve it by using two equations if you don't take G is equal to 10. Then there is Vs, you start with this velocity U, then this U become a unknown quantity. I have started from here, U is equal to 0, this is a known quantity. Here V will be a known quantity, here I don't know V because I am doing from this point to this point and here V is known to me. So we can do it this way, we can do it this way, we can calculate only from this point and H value will come only with one equation. So we get the value here and our answer is B. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Read the question carefully and match with the diagram. Okay, he released a bag to fall freely. Oh, like this. This is falling freely. Bag. And he himself slides on the inclined plane to reach the bottom. Here is the person and he is sliding himself to reach at this point. Okay, it has reached at this point. It has reached at this point and both have got the same level. Okay. If V1 and V2 are the velocities of the man and the bag, V1 is velocity of the man, V2 is velocity of the bag. Man and the bag. Then V1 is larger, V1 is smaller, V1 is equal to V1 and V2 cannot be compared. Okay. Angle is not given. Let us take this angle theta. If this angle is theta, then what we have to find? The final velocities. First, this velocity. This velocity goes on increasing and it depends upon the distance. Let us say this distance is equal to h. If distance is h, then what will be this velocity? So answer is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. This gives 0 plus 2 into g into this is h. So v2 is equal to root 2gh. Okay, Let's make it a box. Keep it V2. Now come back here. If you come back here, H, we have made a quantity which we have agreed that this is height H. Now if this is height H, how much will be this? Let us say this is equal to S. Then H upon S is sine theta. S is equal to H upon sine theta. So S is equal to H upon sine theta in the language of H. Okay, this is S. What is the acceleration of this man? Acceleration of this man. In this direction, acceleration is equal to G. What is the acceleration in this direction? Answer is, if this is G, this angle is 90 minus theta. So here we know this will be G sine theta. G sine theta. This is acceleration in this direction. This you have done in number of questions. So you remember the acceleration in this direction is A is equal to G sine theta. Now let's do our calculation in this line, because all our formulas, three formulas, B is equal to U plus HC, etc., all are applicable for motion in one dimension, in a straight line. So we have to make the quantities in this straight line. We have made two quantities. Number one, displacement x is equal to h upon sine theta, acceleration is g sine theta, and what is the initial velocity? 0 in this direction. What we are supposed to find out? What is the final velocity? Initial velocity, final velocity, displacement, acceleration. Initial, final, displacement, acceleration. Same formula we will use here. So now what we get? V1 square is equal to U square plus 2 into acceleration. Here G sine theta into S displacement. Displacement is H upon sine theta. Here sine theta is cancelled. What we get? 2GH. So V1 is equal to root 2GH. Match the two. We get the same quantity. So V1 is equal to V2. V1 is equal to V2 and our option is C. C is the option and this is the correct option. Okay, A and B, that is a rigid rod. So this is A, this is B. The particle A is moving in this direction and it has got velocity 10 meter per second. This V is equal to 10 meter per second. In which direction this particle B is moving? Answer is B is moving in this direction and its velocity, we have to find the velocity. What is the velocity of B? So let us say this velocity is VB. The angles, this angle is 60 and this angle is 30. Of course, this is 90. Therefore, if this is 60 given, then this has to be 30 degree. Okay. The velocity VB we have to find. This is going here, this is going down, and we can assume, we can prove mathematically that initially this was going from here slowly. This is coming here. After some time, this will become slow, this will become fast. There may be changes in velocity and with every angle, the velocity for the two is different. Now, how can we get an equation out of it? Think. In such questions, you have to think that which is the quantity which remain constant throughout the motion. So, we will try to solve, we will try to make an equation for that particular quantity. In this one, we can say, we know that the given thing is rigid rod. This rod is rigid, that means this distance do not change. This distance do not change. How can we convert it into an equation? Okay, I can think of one thing. Tell me, we know about relative velocity. If this particle, we take this direction, it is moving in this direction, it is having certain component. If velocity 10 is in this direction, there must be some component of velocity in this direction. If this is the velocity in this direction, it is again having two directions. One is this and one is this. Yes. So, it has got a component in this direction. How much is this component? This is velocity b into cos 30. This is sin 30. How much is this component? If this is 10, this is 60, this is 60, then this is v cos 60. Now the distance, this distance is not changing, whether it is here, whether it is here, whether it is here, like this it is moving. So this distance remains same, whether it is this way or this way or this way or this way. If this distance is same, then we can say the relative velocity of b with respect to a in this direction is how much? No change in distance. If there is no change in distance, no change in displacement, velocity is 0. If there is velocity, then the distance must increase or decrease. If there is no change, the relative velocity is 0. It is going in the same direction. So, relative velocity A and B relative velocity between A and B in the particular direction, in the direction of AB. How much is that? V cos 60 minus VB cos 30. This is relative velocity, and how much is it? It is 0 because this distance in this direction is not changing, in the direction of rod. Now this V cos 60, V is equal to 10, so this we can write as 10. 10 cos 60 minus VB cos, so we have to find out VB, let's put it there. VB cos 30 is equal to 10 cos 60, this cos 60 we can put as sin 30, you know that. So how much is VB equal to? VB is equal to 10 sin 30 upon cos 30, that is tangent 30. And how much is tangent 30? 10 upon root 3. How much is 10 upon root 3? 10 root 3 upon 3, and this comes to nearly 5.8. And we have here one option. This option says it is 5, 10, 5.8, 17.3. So it comes to 5.8. So this is option C. So remember what we were searching for. हम क्या ढूंढ रहे थे? हम एक ऐसी क्वांटिटी ढूंढ रहे थे जो इसकी रिजिड लेंथ से रिलेटेड हो और बाकी सब चीजें वेलोसिटी से रिलेटेड हैं। तो हम क्या मानेंगे कि इस डायरेक्शन में ये वाला बी पॉइंट ए की तरफ किस वेलोसिटी से जा रहा है? 0, क्योंकि इन दोनों के बीच का डिस्टेंस कम हो ही नहीं रहा। इसलिए हमने इस डायरेक्शन में ए की वेलोसिटी निकाली, इसी डायरेक्शन में बी की वेलोसिटी निकाली और दोनों की वेलोसिटी कैसी है? सेम। तो दोनों की वेलोसिटी ये आ गई, ये दोनों की वेलोसिटी कैसी है? सेम। रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी बोलेंगे तो कैसी है? 0। सो विद दिस we get our solution that VB is equal to 5.8. This is how we can do it. Okay, now let's go for the next question. Okay, now see this question. A particle is moving along a straight line and its displacement x at any time is given by x square is equal to at square plus 2bt plus c. Okay, ABC constants. The acceleration of particle varies directly as acceleration, let us say A. A varies as is proportionate to. There are 4 options here. I have written these 4 options here. So A is varying as x to the power minus 4, x to the power minus 3, minus 1, minus 5. Out of this, 1 is the correct option. Directly means it is proportionate to this. This we have to find out. Okay, we all know that if equation of displacement is given, then how do we reach the equation of acceleration? By 2 differentiations. One differentiation gives the value of velocity and other differentiation gives the value of acceleration. Okay, so we start x square is equal to at square plus 2bt plus c, and let us differentiate with respect to time t. So this will be for them who are new for differentiation, x square, we have to make it differentiation with respect to time, but this is a function of x, so we will make it d by dx into dx by dt. This is what? D by dt of x square is equal to d by dt of at square plus d by dt of 2bt plus d by dt of c. This we know, differentiation of constant is 0, so it is gone. Differentiation d by dt of 2bt is 2b, d by dt of at square is a into 2t. Dx by dt is velocity. Dx square upon dx is equal to 2x. So 2x into velocity is equal to 2at plus b. Let's cancel 2. So xv plus at is equal to b. Now what is the value of v? V is equal to at plus b divided by x. Or with this we can find a relation that v is, x will go here as x to the power minus 1. So we can find the conclusion that v is proportionate to x to the power minus 1. Okay, we have reached this conclusion. Now, but we have to reach acceleration. Acceleration is dv by dt, so we use this. This is xv is equal to at plus this. Now, differentiate this. This is a product of 2 variables, x and v, both are variable. So, how do we get the differentiation of this? Answer is, this will be with respect to t. This is first differentiation of, let us say x is a constant and v dv by dt plus, now v is a constant and this is dx by dt. You know how do we do the differentiation of a product? Is equal to differentiation of at is a and differentiation of b is 0. This we have got. Now here we get this is the quantity. dv by dt is acceleration. X, this is equal to, this goes on this side and this is a. V dx dt. What is dx by dt? That is again v, so it becomes v square and it goes here as v square. Okay. Now a is acceleration is equal to constant and v square upon x. Look for this quantity, v square upon x. This v square, look for this. V is proportionate to x to the power minus 1. So v square is proportionate to. So we can get it here. Acceleration is proportionate to v to the power 2, that is x to the power minus 2. X, when this x comes up, this is again x to the power minus 1. We can write it this way, x to the power minus 1. So A is proportionate to v square x to the power minus 1. Now v itself is proportionate to x to the power minus 1. So this is x to the power minus 2 and x to the power minus 1. So A is proportionate to x to the power minus 2, x to the power minus 1. So A is proportionate to x to the power minus 3. This variable affects the value of acceleration. A is constant. Okay, so all other constants we are not concerned, we are concerned with variable, and there is constant and this is variable. And this is proportionate to again constant x to the power minus 3. Because we have proved minus 1, minus 2 and minus 1, minus 3. So A is proportionate to x to the power minus 3. So our right option is B. B is the right option. Okay. Elevator whose floor to ceiling distance is 2.7. This distance is 2.7 meter. Okay. Ascending with a constant acceleration. It is going up with a constant acceleration is equal to 1.2 meter per second square. Okay. This is going up with this acceleration. 2 seconds after the start, when it goes up 2 seconds, its velocity has increased. इसकी velocity कुछ ना कुछ बढ़ जाएगी 2 सेकंड में. Okay, whatever it is, 2 सेकंड में कुछ होगी. A bolt falls from the ceiling of the car. यहाँ से एक bolt गिरा and this bolt comes down. Okay, why should it come down? The answer is this distance between bolt and the floor goes on decreasing because the acceleration due to gravity pulls it downward. Acceleration G. Plus this floor is going up with certain acceleration 1.2. The acceleration of the floor is 1.2 in upward direction and acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 this in downward direction. So what is the relative acceleration? Relative acceleration or net acceleration. Acceleration net, or we can say relative. That is the acceleration with which this stone and the floor, they approach each other. The floor is going up, the stone is going down due to acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now we have to find out. At that time, when this starts falling, then what is the distance it has to cover? The answer, it has to cover 2.7 meter distance. Is it having any initial velocity? Yes, it has having initial velocity. How was it at initial velocity? In which direction? The answer, earlier when this bolt start falling, at that time it was already moving up with certain velocity. That was its initial velocity. How do we find it? We can find it with the given data. Start ascending with constant acceleration 1.2 and the bolt fall after 2 seconds. So what will be its velocity? Final velocity is equal to u plus at. U was 0, a is equal to 1.2 meter per second and the time is 2 seconds. So this is 2.4. And what is the direction of velocity? Upward. Now look for this bolt. It has got initial velocity upward. Initial velocity upward 2.4. It has got net acceleration. Net acceleration, relative acceleration. How much? 9.8. 9.8 downward minus 1.2 upward. This is plus, this is minus. Or we can say if upward is plus, then this is plus, this is minus. Okay, let us take it this way because we have taken 2.4 in upward direction. So this is the initial velocity. This is net acceleration. See it again. Net acceleration, relative acceleration. How do we find? This is approaching this. The floor is approaching with acceleration 1.2 in upward direction. And 1.2. This is coming down with acceleration 9.8. So what is net acceleration? The answer is addition of the two. Net, how do we get? Relative. Acceleration of the one, acceleration of the second, minus. So this comes to minus 11. This is acceleration. Now minus means what? Minus means downward direction. Okay. So we have got u, we have got acceleration, and we have got distance to be traveled 2.7. S is equal to 2.7, and what we have to find is time, t. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. Here S is equal to 2.7. 2.7 is equal to 0 minus half into acceleration 11. This minus is because of this 11. A t square, and t is we have to find t square. So minus minus is cancelled. Why we have taken S as negative initially? The answer is from this point S is downward. If S is downward, then we have to take it negative. So this was minus 2.7. Now this minus 2.7 minus, for acceleration they cancel each other and we get this equation, and with this you will find t square is equal to 5.4 divided by 11. If it is 5.411, then what is t is equal to? T is equal to root 5.4 divided by 11, and the right option is D. D is the right option. So this is solved this way. Acceleration time graph of a body is shown here, और हमें दिखाना है velocity time graph. Okay, a body is moving in a straight line. Yeah. This body has got certain velocity, and this velocity goes on changing. That means it may have acceleration, velocity keeps on increasing, decreasing, or it remains constant. When it is increasing, there is the acceleration. Now, this is the graph between A and T. For the same motion, there is a VT graph out of these two. So we have to find out ये वाले AT ग्राफ के लिए कौन सा VT ग्राफ एप्लीकेबल है. ओके, ये क्वेश्चंस आजकल बहुत कॉमन हो गए, बहुत पूछे जाते हैं. और देखिए किस तरह से इसे बनाएंगे. पहले हम ये वाला टाइम पीरियड लेते हैं. वन टाइम पीरियड, सेकेंड टाइम पीरियड, थर्ड टाइम पीरियड. इन द फर्स्ट टाइम पीरियड what is happening to velocity? Answer is acceleration is there. Whenever the acceleration is there, there is certain value of acceleration. Whenever there is acceleration, the velocity goes on increasing. तो इतने टाइम के लिए यहाँ से यहाँ तक इतने टाइम के लिए वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज होगी। यहां पर हम देखते हैं कि शुरू में वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज वाले ग्राफ कौन से हैं। इसमें वेलोसिटी इंक्रीज हो रही है, दिस में बी एन ऑप्शन। इसमें वेलोसिटी डिक्रीज हो रही है, दिस इज नॉट एन ऑप्शन बिकॉज एक्सेलरेशन हियर इज ए पॉजिटिव एक्सेलरेशन। Positive acceleration increase the velocity, not decrease. So this is out. This one again, velocity is decreasing, out. We have these two, velocity increasing for a certain time. For a certain time, velocity increase because of this acceleration. Out of these two. After that, what happens? Acceleration becomes zero. When acceleration is zero, will the object stop or will velocity stop to increase? The answer is velocity stops to increase. जितनी velocity है वो तो रहेगी, बढ़ेगी नहीं, क्योंकि acceleration zero है। तो velocity अगर नहीं बढ़ेगी तो उसका ग्राफ कैसा होगा? आंसर है उसका ग्राफ एक स्ट्रेट लाइन होगा। VT ग्राफ में VT, if the velocity is there but it is not increasing, then this is the graph. Here this is the right, this is the right one. So this portion correct, this portion correct, this portion correct, this portion correct. How much is acceleration here? Positive. Acceleration positive. Acceleration zero. Acceleration zero. Now here acceleration negative. Acceleration positive. See, in the third part, how is the acceleration? Positive. So positive is velocity increasing, this one. This is velocity decreasing. How this will bark into acceleration? This should have come here, down, negative acceleration. Then we could have given this answer. But this says velocity again increases. That means acceleration is positive. So our option is C. So C is the right option. Velocity increase, velocity do not increase, remain constant, again increase. Increase, remain constant, again increase. So this is how we divide any action into different time groups. In each time we think about these quantities and then we decide which is the appropriate. It's a very common and very old questions asked again and again. A body falls from a height h is equal to 200 meter. From here it starts falling. 200 meter, it starts falling. Okay, the ratio of distance traveled in each 2 seconds from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 6 seconds. In first 2 seconds it comes here, in the next 2 seconds it comes here, in the third 2 seconds it comes here. Let us call this distance S1, S2, S3, and we have to find the ratio of S1, S2, S3. Okay, how can we find it? It's very easy. We know this equation. What we have to find out? The distance, S. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. Here u is equal to 0. So we will take this as u because u is equal to 0 gives a very convenient thing, that is, that will make this term as 0. So we will calculate from here. So our first calculation S1 is equal to 0 plus half gt. How much is the t? The ratio of distance traveled in each 2 seconds. So the first time here t is equal to 2, here t is equal to 4, here t is equal to 6, given in the question. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. So for S1, u0 plus half g and t square. T square is how much? 2 square. 2 square. So this is equal to 2g. Then we have to find out S2. So what we find out is S2, if we try to find out, we do not know what is u here, but we know what is u here. So we calculate the total this height. How much is this? S1 plus S2. This is equal to again 0 plus half g. How much is the time? This time is 2 and this time is 2. The total time is 4. So half g 4 square. This comes to be equal to 4 4s are 16, 8g. This is 8g. Then how much is S2 only? S1 plus S2 is 8g, out of which S1 is equal to 2g. So S2 will be equal to 8g minus 2g. That is equal to 6g. Now we have to find out this third, and this third now you can predict. This is S1 plus S2 plus S3. S1 plus S2 plus S3 is equal to UT plus half A and T square. Here T is 6. So this comes to be equal to 6 6 are 36, 18G. S1 plus S2, S1 plus S2, 8G. So this is 8G plus S3 is equal to this. Therefore, S3 is equal to 18G minus 8G is equal to 10G. So S1, S2, S3 is equal to 2G, to S2, S2, 6G, 6G and S3, 10G. One, 3, 5. Do we have any option? Yes. 1, 3, 5. So our right option is C. That is S1, S2, S3. S1, S2, S3, 1, 3, 5. That is the correct ratio. Next question. A boy began to walk eastward along a street in front of house, and the graph of his displacement is shown in the figure. His average speed for the whole time interval is equal to. You see what we are supposed to find out. Average speed. What is our formula for average speed? Average speed. Mind this word, speed. Total distance divided by total time. We have to find total distance. And you know what graph it is? Displacement time. In displacement time graph, if we have to find out total distance. So, from 0 to 5 seconds, how much is the distance? The answer is position at time is equal to 0 is 0. Position at 5 is equal to 5 second, position is 40. He was moving. This slope shows there is a motion. The displacement keeps on increasing with time. So it is under motion. Now 5 to 10. 5 to 10 second, what the boy is doing. At 5 second, his position was at 40. At 6 second, position is at 40. 8 second, position is at 40. 10 second, position is at 40. That means he is not moving. If he is not moving, then how much distance he has travelled? 0. So from 5 to 10, he has not travelled any distance. So distance travelled 0 to 5 seconds. The distance travelled is 40. Why? Because at 5 seconds he is at the position 40. At 0 second he is at the position 0. So how much he has travelled? 40. Of course, that is why he has reached 40. And up to 5 to 10 his position is same. No change in position. So distance travelled is how much? 0. Then 10 to 15. His position was 40. At 15 seconds, his position is 0. Why? He had gone to the distance 40, then he has come back to the position 0. How much he has traveled? 40. So 10 to 15, time period 10 to 15 seconds, he has traveled 40, and mind, you cannot write it minus whether he is returning or going, because the distance is always positive. Then again, this 5, 10, 15, then he goes to the level of 20, not concerned with time. That is on the other side. इधर से 40 से वापस आया, दूसरी साइड कितना गया? 20. तो कितना चला होगा इस पोजीशन से? तो आंसर है इस पोजीशन से 20 इस तरफ गया, 20 माइनस की तरफ गया. फिर से देखिए, ये यहां से पॉजिटिव साइड कितना गया? 40. If we say this is positive or if this is positive, this is negative. तो पहले पॉजिटिव कितना गया? 40. वहां खड़ा रहा 5 सेकेंड, फिर वहां से वापस आया, फिर दूसरी साइड में कितना चला गया? 20. और फिर वहां से वापस आया, कहां पर पहुंचा? 0. फिर 0 पे पहुंचा. तो फिर से देखिए, 40 गया, खड़ा रहा, 40 वापस आया, दूसरी तरफ 20 गया, वहां से फिर वापस आया. 40, 40, 20, 20. Make the total. 80 plus 40, 120. Okay. So 40, 10 to 15. 10 to 15, he has traveled 15, and 15 to 20. Here, he has gone to 20 level and then come back to 0 level. 20 plus 20 return. Other side return. तो ये कितना हो गया? 20 plus 20, 40. Now you see how much he has traveled. 120 meter. Is there any option? 120 meter. We had to find out average speed. This is what we have traveled, distance. What we have calculated, distance. If this is the total distance, how much is the total time consumed? 20 seconds. Time 20 seconds. So average speed. Total distance 120. Total time 20 seconds. So 6 meter per second is the average speed. 6 meter. Oh, it is not per second, it is per minute, because this is in minutes. So we will write it minute, no problem. So this is 6 meters per minute. So our right option is B. Okay, see it again. We will calculate the distance traveled in our time. He has gone to 40. Stayed there for some time. Come back to 0. Then gone to negative side, 20. Come back to 0. 40, 20, 20. 40, 40, 80 and 20, 20, 40. 80 and 40, 120, and the total time given is 20. So 120 divided by 20 is equal to 6 meter per minute. This is the speed. Please read the question here. A ball is thrown up vertically, velocity v naught, reaches a height of h. v naught से थ्रो किया और ये यहाँ पहुंच गया हाइट h. तो यहाँ जाके इसकी वेलोसिटी क्या हो जाएगी? 0. This is V initial. V initial is V naught, V0, and here V final is equal to 0. Increase maximum height of h, और ये height है h. If one wish to triple the maximum height, अब यहां से हमने कोई दूसरी वेलोसिटी से भेजा और वो इतनी ऊपर चली गई. हाउ मच इज दिस हाइट इक्वल टू 3h. यहां जाके अब इसकी वेलोसिटी फाइनल क्या हो गई 0. This is maximum height. So what we have to find out, what is the velocity initial here. Now initial velocity, we call it u. This is final velocity, it's always 0. And this is distance. Do we have any relation? Yes. Everywhere a is equal to what? G. A is equal to G. If it is downward, we will write it minus G. Okay. So our formula for distance and initial velocity and final velocity is distance s or h is equal to initial velocity minus h is equal to h is equal to v square minus u square upon 2a. We will use that formula. So h is equal to v square 0 minus u square divided by 2 acceleration g here. Now here we find, I am telling you another method, a very small and important method, that g is a constant, uniform, it's not changing its value. Then height depends upon square of the velocity. This g is negative, so these minus minus is cancelled. So h is equal to v naught square upon 2g. That means height is proportionate to square of the velocity. Now, if we have to increase the height 3 times, how much velocity should change to? Answer is, it has to be 9 times. Okay, let's do it other way. In this case, the height was h and this is our formula. Case 1. Case 1. Height is h, initial v naught, final this. Case 2. Case 2. Height is 3h. This is final velocity 0, 0 square minus initial velocity vi, v square minus u square upon 2a, 2g, this. Now this 3h, we will take the value of h from here. 3 v naught square upon 2g is equal to vi square upon 2g. Three h is equal to vi square upon 2g. So vi square is equal to 3 v naught square. Take the square root of each side. So vi is equal to root 3 into v naught. Is it correct one? If there is a mistake, then you can find out where is the mistake. Examine it. A car accelerates from rest at a constant rate for first 10 seconds. A car starts here, u is equal to 0, 10 second, t is equal to 10 second, covers a distance of x. Okay. Car accelerates constant rate. Car accelerate at constant rate for first 10 seconds. It has certain acceleration. Okay. It covers a distance y in next 10 seconds at the same acceleration. Another 10 seconds. Same acceleration a, and from here to here it is y. What is the ratio of x and y? X, y, x, y. Actually it is the same question what you have done earlier. Anyway, since it has come, we will do it again. X, acceleration a, starting 0. So s is equal to ut plus half a, t square, 100. So this is equal to 50a. Now for this we do not know this u, so we will start from here. 10 seconds and 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then we will subtract this distance. So x plus y is equal to ut plus half a, t square, 20 into 20. 200a. So x was equal to 50a. 50a plus y is equal to 200a. Therefore y is equal to 150a. 150a. Now ratio of x to the y. X, y. X upon y is equal to 50a upon 150a. So here 3x is equal to y, or yes, y is equal to 3x. Y is equal to 3x. We get this option here. Y is equal to 3x. So our right option is B. This is what you have done in the same manner. Earlier it was vertical motion, here it is horizontal motion. Okay, now see the second question. Area of acceleration displacement. Area of acceleration displacement. Curve of a body gives out of these quantities impulse, change in momentum per unit mass, and d is total change in energy. See, area of something curve. Area of curve is always given by, that is y multiplied by x. Area of curve is given by y into x. Okay. If this is the curve, then area is this, or integration, or whatever it is. But what we remember is multiplication. Multiplication of height, multiplication of horizontal weight, that is y and x. What are these two quantities here? These two quantities are acceleration and displacement. One is acceleration and one is displacement. Acceleration and displacement. Now acceleration into displacement, we have not read about anything. So many things are given here. We have to convert. So acceleration is force upon mass. And displacement. Why I am writing this? Because I know there is something force into displacement. Force into displacement is work done, and work done is energy. Energy upon mass. Because the particle is accelerating, it is moving, so the type of energy, which energy it will have? Answer, kinetic energy. So if it is having kinetic energy, let's write it kinetic energy. Kinetic energy per unit mass. Kinetic energy per unit mass. So this area, acceleration, displacement, gives kinetic energy per unit mass. This is option C. So this is